that, of course, is a story for another day, and I'll see you, and we'll talk about that down the road. Welcome, wrestling fans. You got the show Bill Schuyler here at One Wrestling's NXT News and Reviews, September 23rd, 2015, on the countdown to Takeover Respect on October 7th, live on the WWE Network. Full Sail University is the setting, and our opening match would be Carmella going up against Eva Marie. Obviously, Eva Marie, not the greatest wrestler in the world. Actually, one of the worst wrestlers to ever enter the women's division in the WWE. But I believe she's actually training down here at Full Sail University. Could it be that Sarah Del Rey, Sarah Amato, one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time, is taking Eva Marie under her wing, training her and trying to turn this model come diva into a credible wrestler? The match, Carmella, a great talent, still a rookie, so it's not a case of her being able to carry Eva Marie. I don't think she's at that level yet, so it was an honest effort from Eva Marie. Carmella's got a great brawling wrestling style with that Long Island, New York attitude, just pouring from her. The way she talks, the way she dresses, everything she moves and does in and out of the ring just equals money. And not being associated so much anymore with Enzo Amore and Big Cass, but on her own, she's definitely making a name for herself. They're clearing up the botch of the 3 count of Eva Marie. Previously that was called a 2 count because Eva Marie didn't get her shoulders up when she was supposed to. Now they're making it seem that the referee is possibly under the influence of Eva Marie and her wiles as a hot red-headed woman. And it happens yet again where we have a 3 count and a bogus kick out is called legitimate by this referee. Carmella, upset, stands up to make her case with the referee, and Eva Marie tosses her out of the ring. She hits her head on the steel, and we get a 10 count. And Eva Marie takes this win like she had defeated the greatest wrestlers of all time, making signs of getting the championship belt and all that nonsense. Unfortunately, I think at some point Eva Marie may actually get the NXT Women's title, which will be a definite black mark here in NXT. There are some things that need to change here in NXT, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. We're going to talk about it next week, the week after that, and the month after that, until they get themselves back in gear. That's right. Since NXT Takeover Brooklyn, something foul and rotten has occurred down here in NXT's weekly television program. But for right now, we're going to finish talking about the matches this week, and then I'm going to go into this problem that has beset NXT. Tyler Breeze going up against Bull Dempsey. Their feud continues, and it's a feud that I feel is pretty pointless and something that continues to bury and leave Tyler Breeze out of the top part of this roster. He is somehow just stuck in limbo down here in the mid-card in NXT. I mean, to be quite honest, any of the superstars down here, there should be no mid-card. It should either be enhancement talent and guys that are here to be the best there is, putting forth great matches, great feuds, everything and anything every week going into their takeover super specials, not saving it all for that. But again, we'll talk about that a little further down the road. This does push the new funny man gimmick for Bull Dempsey with his bull fit. The crowd is solidly behind Bull Dempsey and this gimmick. They love it. The crowd itself still is behind. The fans are deeply behind Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze seems to me to be in a similar situation that befell Dolph Ziggler. They not only sort of look alike, but it seems they're being booked the same way. And Tyler Breeze here, you know, he's getting his hair messed up in the beginning of this match. And, you know, Breeze takes the pinfall with his foot on the second rope. Referee didn't see it. Thus, this feud is going to continue. But, oddly enough, it will not continue at TakeOver. Respect. That's right. Tyler Breeze is going to face the upcoming rising force known as Apollo Crews in the Crews Nation, the former independent megastar, the Uhaa Nation, only gets better and better every time he's on the screen. And that's who he'll be facing despite this feud going on between him and Bull Dempsey, where in, 2 weeks, October 7th, comes this NXT Takeover Respect. We then get William Regal coming out, and the whole announcement, the whole deal for the contract signing for the Joshi superstar Kana from Japan, one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. She is feared throughout the East. She has one of the strongest kick styles in the business, man or woman alike. She is definitely strong style. Her new name will be Asuka. And with this, Dana and Emma come out and interrupt the proceedings, because you could never have a contract signing without somebody sticking their nose into it. They come out and welcoming her to the roster, telling her how tough the women's locker room is here at NXT, and that since they have already run out Sasha Banks, Bayley, not run out as of yet, but they're after her. Who they ran off? They ran off Charlotte Flair, the new former NXT World Champion, who is now the Divas Champion in the WWE, and even the boss, Sasha Banks. They say they basically run this roster, and any problems that can occur can either be caused or fixed by Dana, Brooke, and Emma. And they tell her for right now to get out of their ring. Go. And Asuka just puts her head down, super humble, almost looking timid and scared. Walks out of the ring, walks up that ramp, and then turns around with this smirk smile that you just know means that she's gonna pour forth a lot of pain, a lot of blues, and a lot of agony upon Miss Dana Brooke and Emma. They do not realize what they have unleashed by disrespecting this Japanese super talent. They've never faced anyone in the ring as powerful and as skilled as Asuka. Looking forward to what she is going to bring to the women's roster down in NXT, the changes that are going to have to occur. And I can only pray to the wrestling gods and to the bookers that you stick Eva Marie in the ring with Asuka, whether it's on TV or on the road. I don't care if there's not a camera around. Just to let her unleash some strong style kicks and blows to her, it make Eva Marie decide that this ain't the job for her and she could hit the road. Now we're brought in with a Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic update, bringing everything up to date as we already know who's what and where. It's come down to basically you've got the Vaudevillains, you got Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, you got my picks, Jordan and Gable, as the surprise dark horse winners of this. You also got Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, who beat the Vaudevillains in that match, which of course misspoke. The Vaudevillains are now no longer in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. This is something that really needs to be put forth and should have been shown and more. And we're going to talk about that too, of what the mistakes they've made with the Classic and how that could have changed all this turmoil and disappointment that's been going on here in NXT. We then get a point where we've got to stop these network commercials that go on during the matches down here in NXT. Why are we interrupting matches such as the one we're getting ready to talk about, a championship match nonetheless for the tag team titles, and like always it happens at a key point in the match, and when they come back they have it running as if it continued, and you miss out except for the flashback. Ridiculous. I mean, if this was a prize fight, Floyd Mayweather fighting on this, and just as he hits the guy with a combination and on the ropes, would they go to commercial? No, they would not. In MMA, if Conor had a guy down and had him in the submission, with that armbar, whatever it might be, Ronda Rousey, any of the superstars in MMA, would you go to commercial? No, you don't go to commercial at that point. Ridiculous again. Triple H, Steph, whoever's running things down there, who makes those decisions, Kevin Dunn, whoever it might be, you need to recalibrate yourself. And we're already watching the network. We've already paid the $9.99. This isn't occurring and appearing in syndication on television anywhere. You only get it here at the WWE Network. So you don't have to push these commercials on us during a match. Put them on in the beginning, put them on in the end, or put them on in the middle, in between matches. We're going to watch what you got brewing. You got some great shows that are brewing and getting ready to drop on the network. And I'm not going to talk about them because I'm not going to give a commercial break in the middle of my show because I don't have any commercials to break, and I'm not going to give up yours. Watch the WWE Network, $9.99. It's worth it every dime. And I will say, I will put forth Table of Three, one of the best things going on the WWE Network. 3 former superstars, 3 current superstars sit down for lunch or breakfast, brunch, whatever it might be, and just talk with the cameras rolling about whatever they want to talk about. This week, my favorite, who I feel a women's wrestler who changed the business forever and has only recently started to get her due. This because of what had transpired with her going to WCW, dropping her WWE title in the trash on live television. I'm talking about Medusa Michelli, a.k.a. Alundra Blaze. She introduced and brought the entire Japanese style of wrestling to America for the fans to actually see and get a hold of with Bull Nakano. But this, of course, is a story for another day. Let's get back into the upcoming match. It's Blake and Murphy with Old Blue Pants, Leva Bates, in their corner with their tag team title rematch in the contract clause, going up against the current Vaudevillains, the champions, Aiden English, Simon Gotch, they have Old Blue Pants in their corner. My head is out of the situation right here. It's in the Cosmic Wasteland. Blake and Murphy, of course, have the ever-lovely Alexa Bliss, the Vixen of Destruction. And this match starts out, and it doesn't take long as Alexa causes problems, and Old Blue Pants runs her out and around the ring and up the ramp, and they are gone. So we should get a straight-up, legit, fair and square in-ring battle between the Vaudevillains and Team Bam. This was another solid performance by Team Bam and the Vaudevillains. These four gentlemen mesh very well in the ring, and I actually enjoy seeing them go at it. A lot of fans were not behind Blake and Murphy in the beginning. A lot of fans got behind them as their title reign grew and grew. And the Vaudevillains, I'm not a fan of the gimmick, but as wrestlers and talent, they are phenomenal. This would end with one of the greatest named moves in the business, the whirling dervish. I love that. And the champs take the win via that whirling dervish and hold on to their titles. They are the NXT Tag Team Champions of the world, the Vaudevillains. Now, this was our main event of the evening, and now I'm going to talk about the problems here in NXT since TakeOver Brooklyn. The problem being is, it seems that the main creative team, the bosses, if you will, of NXT, it's like they have went away on vacation, and they put NXT in the hands of their B team, and their B team has dropped the ball. Whether they're afraid to step up and make NXT as entertaining or even better than the last episode, the last run since NXT hit the network. NXT up until TakeOver Brooklyn was some of the greatest pro wrestling in the business and on television, available only on the network. They've brought in some of the greatest talent in the business. Hands down, you cannot dispute the amount of talent that exists on the NXT roster. Yet, we're being given subpar shows each week. It's a similar situation that's occurring in Ring of Honor. Since appearing on Destination America, their television product has went to the dogs. And NXT is very similar right now to a Ring of Honor show. And with the amount of talent, money, and production behind this product, I cannot see how Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and everyone and anyone that's involved in making this NXT rise up and become the phenomenal brand in this company, the one that can bring in the fans, the internet fans, the indie fans around the world who will not watch the WWE's Raw, SmackDown roster and definitely won't buy a pay-per-view. It may not even have the network, but they got the network and following NXT because they were running indies. Now the thing is, on the road, they are lighting it up like anybody's business. NXT has been on the road, and they have sold out 100% of every single arena building that they have been in. They're tearing up Texas as we speak. They're getting ready to launch a UK tour, which is going to be an incredible success. I believe this NXT Takeover Respect will be a tremendous outing. I mean, you're talking the main event alone. First time ever 30-minute Iron Man match between two of the greatest women wrestlers in the company. Arguably two of the best women in the business today. The former champion, the boss, Sasha Banks, going up against the current NXT Women's Champion, Bayley. You got the end of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. That tag team will be elevated, receiving their trophy, the whole deal, whatever's going on. I'm not going to give the rundown for Respect here today, but that there alone is going to make that show. And with this tag team classic, they made a big hoopla for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. This, my friends, was set up, and this, of course, I'm sure is from Hunter. It's very similar to, if you're an old NWA fan, the Jim Crockett Memorial Cup, where they brought in established tag teams and tag teams that were basically kind of thrown together to compete for the big cup and the money. Outstanding pay-per-view. I urge you to check it out on the network and under WCW. Go back, I believe it's either between 85 and 87. And you will be just, if you love tag team wrestling, you cannot go wrong. This is what I was hoping this tournament was going to be. And the thing is, it is, but we're not getting to see it. I hear some guys bitching and moaning that they show too much of the tag teams on NXT. Are you out of your mind? I would have rather them ran nothing but the tag team for 2 weeks leading up to TakeOver, with nothing else on there except for the Tag Team Classic and a main event showcasing one of your single stars. Whatever. I don't care. Tag team wrestling is an important aspect to the sport. It's important to the entire game. So if you've been brainwashed and accustomed by Vince McMahon's disdain for tag team wrestling, where you don't get to see it that often, well, it's going to be a tough road for you, because Triple H, Hunter, one Paul Levesque, if you will, is a massive fan and supporter of tag team wrestling. You're seeing that on the main roster right now. You're seeing it down in NXT, and you're going to continue to see it. And we should be giving it, instead of some of the ho-hum so matches that we've been given since TakeOver Brooklyn. And that's just it. That fire is not there. It's not being lit up, and it seems like they want to hop, skip, and jump from one takeover to the next, and they're leaving us hanging in the balance. And the action is live on the road, believe me, but you could only be at so many shows, because they're not going to run consecutive shows in your town. This needs to be changed, and it's rather easy to do. I understand also the problem that you've lost a lot of wrestlers who have made their way to the main roster. You have to give time to adjust for that. By signing the amount of talent that you're signing now down in NXT, we shouldn't have to have that. You should be rolling them right in as other superstars are moving up. Your newer guys are moving in, and your guys that are there are stepping up a level to where they are. And the show should be must-watch television every single week. Must-watch television that everyone and anyone who's a wrestling fan would be talking about. Now, you have signed, not only recently by signing Kana, now known as Asuka, this Joshi superstar. You have also signed two of Australia's top women indie stars in Peyton Royce and Jesse McKay, now known as Billy Kay. They are tremendous in the ring. They've been on television already. You need to start pushing your new divas on the TV. Recently signed, CZW's Bandito Jr. Will not be joining us as a competitor. He's joining former CZW star Drake Younger in the NXT referees division. This, of course, is a great thing for them. It's disappointing to fans of them, but they've got to a point in their careers, with whether it be injuries, what it might be, that they're looking for working in the business without having to take the bumps. And the referee spot is an excellent spot. Armstrong jumped into it. Many referees are former wrestlers. But guys who are signed and are going to be getting into the ring and lighting it up, you've already seen what Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano can do in their tag team debut. 2 matches that we got to see, which was outstanding. Getting to see Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in the singles division is going to light up NXT. And a man that's also been signed, Rich Swann, who there's nobody on the roster right now that has the ability that this cruiserweight can deliver. He does it all. If you don't know Rich Swann from Dragon Gate USA, from Evolve, you are going to have your mind blown. And then we got one of my favorite wrestlers from the indie scene, just made a big statement by his abilities at Pro Wrestling Guerrillas Battle of Los Angeles 2015. You can hear all about that at the Indie Roundup by yours truly. You got the show. Night 1 is already up. Night 2 and 3 will be combined into the finale of the Indie Roundup for the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla 2015 Battle of Los Angeles. That's the absolute, hands down, greatest tournament in the business. I know you're going to talk New Japan, but I'm telling you that I enjoy each and every year the Battle of Los Angeles, and you will too. Unfortunately, they don't run the pay-per-view. You got to have a connection right after, or you got to wait till the DVDs are released if you don't have a ticket to be there in Reseda, California. But I digress. I just talking because Gargano, Swann, Ciampa, all have made their marks down there, over there, out there in Reseda, California. Drake Younger himself also was there last year in his final run in the wrestling boots and gear. So you got all this new talent. It's time to start getting it out there and having us entertained. Are we entertained? It's been so-so since Brooklyn. I know I'm not the only fan out there that's feeling this way. What I want you to do is, obviously, I would like you to go down there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below about your thoughts on this NXT News and Reviews episode, everything and anything I've discussed. And if you feel this way towards NXT, please take to social media. Contact and leave tweets, messages, everything you can to Triple H, to Sarah Amato, to Matt Bloom, Tensai, the big man, Stephanie McMahon, the superstars themselves. Put it out there, hashtag it, and put the real, the at Triple H, at whoever, so they get notified of what you're talking about. We generate this as a revolution, if you will. You get what you ask for by putting it out there on social media and making it become a running, trending subject across the wrestling landscape. What do you want to see change in NXT? What are you happy with? I mean, these are all important questions and statements that need to be addressed to NXT. Again, with that, I am the show Bill Schuyler. You can follow me on Twitter at UGOTDASHOW. That's You Got the Show. Not only do I do the NXT news and reviews, I do Ringside, Ring of Honor's Ringside Report, and the new INDY Roundup, where I will be going over and giving my thoughts, opinions, and results and reviews for independent pay-per-views, independent super shows, if you will. Ring of Honor has the problems they do have are going to be solved somewhat soon, as they're going to have a huge run with New Japan again, actually going and having a couple of pay-per-views in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling, titles on the line, everything, and then they'll be bringing talent back to the States, and we will continue to have that Ring of Honor New Japan Pro Wrestling alliance, something that the WWE started to do with Jushin Thunder Liger at the last event, and they're supposed to be doing more. I want to see some more New Japan talent coming into NXT. So I do that indie roundup. My tag team partners, Billy Ray Valentine, Billy Ray Hustle. Follow him on Twitter at Billy Ray Hustle. The man, my amigo, El Jefe Mero Maro, the King of New York himself, Big Ray at Big Ray's show. Big Ray's wrestling show covers pay-per-views from the WWE and any kind of breaking news that he's available to cover. Billy Ray handles the Raw reviews after pay-per-views and anything breaking that also may occur. Now the three of us combined are part of the Big Slam Nation. On Twitter, follow us at Big Slam Nation. What is the Big Slam Nation, you may ask? Fans you formerly were a part of and participated and watched and enjoyed the Can-Am Wrestling Show with Big Ray, Andre Corbeil, and myself with the Back in the Day segments. Great guests, great topics, everything wrestling. Well, if you thought that was good, if you thought that was great, if you thought that was the best out there in the business, most entertaining, throw that to the side. The Can-Am Wrestling Show is gone. That's right, the Can-Am Wrestling Show is dead. And out of the ashes rise the Big Slam Nation. You got the show, Bill Schuyler. Apter One Wrestling, Bill Apter. Big Ray at Big Ray's show. Also the Professor Quintana at PROF PW Hustle. The Pharaoh of Fancy. Follow him at the Pharaoh of Fancy. That's 8-Track Brown, the dirtiest of the city. And Fame Black. Follow him at Fame Black. We are all part of One Wrestling, the Big Slam Nation. And we're going to bring you the best in professional wrestling news, interviews, reviews, results, thoughts, opinions, wrestling guests, anybody and everybody in the business, from in-ring participants to managers, referees, bookers, you name it, they're going to be on the Big Slam Nation, which is coming very, very soon. Stay tuned to us on social media, and when this nation makes its time to drop and bring forth that initial episode, you will be made aware that the nation is ready to rise. I know you'll support us. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Let your friends and family know, other fans out there, about One Wrestling and all the content that we put forth to you guys each and every week. We do this out of love. This is not a case of doing this for money. This is not a job. This is fun. This is something that we love talking about, watching. Everything and anything in professional wrestling. Doesn't matter which promotion, doesn't matter which wrestling superstar. We cover it all. We give everybody and anybody the opportunity to work with us, to talk with us, to get your opinions out there. With that, as always, I'll see you down the road.